Now, there'll be plenty more lefties losing at content with my next guest, including the anthem furore today. This is the way the national anthem was presented at the Super Bowl. It's a long way from Whitney Houston, a long way from Chris Stapleton. Remember that a couple of years ago? That's how you perform the anthem. But today, the NFL again insisted on having what is called the Black National Anthem. Let's see how that went. There is no place for separate racial anthems in my book. It's one nation, one flag, one anthem. Why is, 14% of the population entitled to an additional anthem? Joining me now is comedian and host of Prime Time with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex Stein. Alex, what do you make of this anthem argument?
Well, Rita, I think we actually need it now more than ever. Did you see that they don't have end racism in the end zone this year at the Super Bowl? So, I mean, we need to do whatever we can to fight racism. I know we have to fight it. It's our biggest problem, according to Jasmine Crockett, the congresswoman from Dallas, my neighborhood. So, you know, we need it. We need an anthem for every race. We need the Chinese anthem. We need every race, the Hispanic, Mexican anthem. Everybody needs their own anthem. I don't care if it takes 45 minutes before the game starts.
Yeah, forget about the game. Maybe just we skip the first half and just have the anthems of, you know, every nationality that needs to be acknowledged. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. We had another first, Alex, from Donald Trump today.
That would be history already in the building tonight, as President Donald Trump becomes the first sitting U.S. president ever to attend a Super Bowl game live.
Now, how was the reception he received? I've played some clips of him being cheered. All the clips I've seen have seen people cheering, players running to him to shake his hand. Contrast to that is the reception that superstar Taylor Swift got. Aggressive booing when she was on the big screen. Explain to me what is happening.
Well, Rita, I mean, there's been a huge culture shift. According to the mainstream media, everybody will tell you that everybody just worships Taylor Swift. But that has changed. You saw Chris Jones, defensive lineman for the Chiefs, run to the sideline just to shake President Trump's hand before the game starts. You saw DeAndre Hopkins, an African-American athlete, when he got asked a leading question, are you excited for President Trump to be there? And the media expected him to be mad about it. And he said, no, I'm excited. I voted for him. So the shift is happening right before our eyes, and it's unbelievable. It's a great thing to watch.
It is a cultural shift, and I think it's taken a lot of people by surprise, even people on the right who thought that Donald Trump was going to win. They weren't anticipating this cultural shift, having sports stars doing the Trump dance, Trump becoming cool. It's something that even a Trump derangement syndrome sufferer, Bill Maher, has spoken about, that Trump's cool now. Rappers want to hang with him. Athletes want to hang with him. The cultural shift has taken a lot of people by surprise.
Well, Rita, people love winners, and Donald Trump is a winner. So I'm not surprised that all the people that were longtime Trump holdouts have finally gotten on the Trump train. It's a beautiful thing to see here in our country.
Now, we'll get to some polling numbers shortly, and they're interesting indeed. But I've got one last thing to show you from the Super Bowl. Every year, the ads are a highlight. Millions and millions are spent to come up with the best ads every year. This year, the Secret Service put out a recruitment ad produced by Hollywood director Michael Bay. It's quite something. Have a look.
America was founded on an idea of freedom. America's always stepped forward in time of need throughout our short but powerful history.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Tear down this wall.
We've been there for all of it.
The second plane hit the tower.
Our heroes are humble. They have an inner pride to keep this idea alive. Protectors are born, they're not made. America's Secret Service protecting this Super Bowl is asking a few more to step forward.
It's all about patriotism. It's the sort of ad we didn't expect to see anymore on TV, certainly not a Super Bowl ad like that. Tell me about that change in the institutions, whether it's the Secret Service, we're talking about reforming the FBI, CIA, Justice Department, getting these mad ideologues out of there and returning them to their former glory. Is all of that, which is really very much part of the Trump agenda, is it achievable?
Well, I do think it's achievable. And listen, the Secret Service, they have to do a total overhaul of their public relations because we've lost faith in them. When you saw Donald Trump get shot in his ear and you saw a few women, they didn't even know how to take out their gun from their holster. They have to do whatever they can to gain the American people's trust again. So, I like that commercial. You didn't see a lot of women in it. Not that I don't want women being in the Secret Service, but I'm just saying at least that commercial seemed like it was honest of the people that I'd want protecting the president. So, yes, I do think it's achievable, Rita. We got 4 years. And, now looking back, it was the greatest thing that Trump didn't win in 2020 because we got to see how terrible Joe Biden is and how much stuff we need to change. So it's all going to get fixed. And it's going to take some time, but in 4 years, I do think Donald Trump could do it.
I think you make an excellent point there. And I mean, no one would have said that back then who was in the Trump camp. But in many ways, that loss was a blessing because it really opened their eyes to just how deep the bureaucracy issues are, how much they were white-tainted and the corruption that exists in DC. And they had 4 years to carefully formulate a plan to overcome all that. And you wonder if they won in 2020, whether it was going to be really any different from the first term, where every step had just so many hurdles in front of it. Let's talk about these polling numbers, starting with President Trump's approval rating. Now at 53%, a 6% jump. This is CBS News polling. This is the highest approval rating for President Trump in CBS polling history. And Alex, when it comes to the big issues like the deportation policy, which people expected to be really contentious, well, the numbers are even more promising. When asked, do you approve or disapprove of the Trump administration's program to find and deport immigrants who are in the US illegally, the approval number there is 59%, up 18%. And the numbers are up for every age group. You're looking at from 18-year-olds all the way to 65 plus. This has got to be terrifying the Democrats and the media and activist class.
No, you're exactly right. The media is shaking in their boots. That's why they're constantly talking about the price of eggs as if inflation wasn't absolutely terrible under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for the past 4 years. So the media is doing anything they possibly can to try to spin this presidency as a negative thing, when in reality, everybody's happy that illegal immigrants are actually getting sent back to their home countries, not because we're bigoted or racist or we don't even want immigrants, but because we don't want to have a two-tier justice system where illegal immigrants or have more access to social services than American citizens. Like people in Chicago, African Americans don't have access to the same social services that an illegal immigrant does. So people are sick and tired of our two-tier justice system that puts Americans last. So it's brilliant. It's great. And these numbers are only going to go up when Trump can actually get more things accomplished.
Well, this next poll should really terrify the Democrats. This is where they asked voters to describe Donald Trump. These are the top responses. Have a look at the list. This is the top ones. This isn't just the positive ones. 69% tough, 63% energetic, 60% focus, 58% effective. The top responses are all positive. They're all traits you want in a president. So despite the overwhelming negative response to every policy, whether it's the border, whether it's deportations, whether it's USAID, and we've got to talk about that, the public seems to be disregarding the noise, the hysteria from the media and the activist class and saying, so far, we like what we see.
Oh, 100%. And honestly, Donald Trump's very tough, but his energy is just unmatched. A man at his age, the way that he moves and travels on a daily basis is unlike any 20-year-old. Anybody in their prime cannot have the same level of energy as Donald Trump. So people notice that. I would put, and I'm not trying to kiss his dairy hair, but I would put smart, because he's a brilliant guy, and they do not give him enough credit for how smart Donald Trump is. So that would be my number one adjective when it comes to the president.
Well, I've got to say, I've been surprised by how easily he's been able to get what he wants, whether he's talking with about Canada or Mexico or Colombia. He makes a threat. They have a bit of a meltdown, but within 24 hours, they're doing what he's asked for, and that's another win for the US. I mentioned USAID, US aid. That is becoming a big issue. The Democrats are doubling down, saying the funding here is necessary, it saves lives, it is not wasteful, it's not corrupt. But the more we learn about where American taxpayers' money has gone around the world with this program, I think the more dangerous it is for the Democrats to defend it, Alex.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they're making Sesame Street in Iraq. They're doing gender studies in countries where women aren't even allowed to drive a car. So it's just absurd, the money that we've wasted trying to indoctrinate foreign countries when people here in America are struggling every day. So, yeah, there's no excuse for the USAID program.
Alex Stein, thanks for your time tonight.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Rita. Talk to you again soon.